How we doing tonight, folks? Good to see everybody tonight. We're going to allow people to jump on. There's JB, looking like $1,000,000.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
JB, I wish you were in Nashville, Tennessee. I want to show you guys something. This is my condo down in Nashville, overlooking.
Wow.
I don't have all the overlooking 40th floor, overlooking downtown Nashville.
That's beautiful. That's gorgeous over there.
Is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to allow some people to get on here. Mark Schaefer on my team is going to be with us tonight, handling any questions, posting any links.
Awesome. Hey, Mark.
As we talk about Prey Drive, how to kill the competition, how to capture market share. And if you're on here tonight, man, we're excited. I literally just walked out of a meeting. My office is about 2 blocks over on 22nd floor of the Regions building in downtown Nashville. And we were talking about Prey Drive a lot today. We were talking about how to get a mortgage company to a higher level. That's who I had in this afternoon, JB. So
that's awesome.
Man, we're excited about people being here. Is this a multi-level marketing program? Tomas, no, it's not. JB is in the sales business. I'm in the sales business. I coach everything from startup companies to multi-billion-dollar companies. What we're going to be talking about tonight is how to kill the competition and how to capture market share. And I'll get into a little bit about how I generate about 3,000 leads every 90 days. JB is helpful in that because JB helped me to generate 800 new people up in Long Island, and then thousands of new people. We're going to show you exactly how to do that tonight. I'm guessing you're here because you want to learn how to compete at the highest level, and you're here because you really want to understand how to capture some new market share. So my name is Coach Micheal Burt. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I first started my coaching journey as a high school women's basketball coach. I was a deep disciple of a guy named Dr. Stephen Covey, where I learned how to engineer people. And from 19 to 31, I coached young people. And then I started coaching adults, right? Along the way, when I wrote one book, now I'm on book number 17. And that is really the title of my new book, Flip the Switch, which was what I spoke on when I went up to Long Island. JB, give us a little intro of who you are.
Hey, everyone. My name is JB Bolvedin. I'm the founder and CEO of Tilbury Success Solutions and co-founder of the New Entrepreneur Wave, the Entrepreneur Conference. I specialize in working with small business and entrepreneurs and helping scale their business. I've worked a lot with the real estate community. I've worked a lot in the finance community, and I've worked a lot in the car dealership industry as well. My goal is to help you increase your sales, and more importantly, how to help you make a name for yourself, especially when you're starting with nothing, because that's one of the hardest pieces. And that's something I specialize in accelerating your marketing.
Okay, good. So you got a true top line sales expert, revenue guy here in me. You got a true marketing genius here in JB, and we're going to be coaching you tonight. So number one, thank you for showing up for the webinar, how to kill your competition, how to really generate leads through Prey Drive, this concept around Flip the Switch. We're going to give you 40, 45 minutes of coaching. If you are in Long Island, I would strongly suggest you come back and see us live on October the 9th. I'm going to be coming back to Long Island to spend a full day on how to activate your Prey Drive in the selling cycle, Prey Drive in the follow-up, Prey Drive in closing. Prey Drive is attached to every single thing you do, folks. And if you're not familiar with me, I was sitting in a workshop with a Vietnam veteran. He was in the war dog division of the Vietnam War. And he kept talking about going ahead of the infantry to sniff out bombs, booby traps, ambushes. And he kept talking about going into battle with this animal. And the animal was a dog. And he kept talking about the dog having a Prey Drive. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Prey Drive, what is this dude talking about? And so I Google it, and I see that Prey Drive in an animal is the animal's ability to stalk, capture, and kill prey. And I'm sitting there with my wife, and I look at her and elbow her, and I go, man, humans have a Prey Drive. And prey drive is the human's ability to see something with the eyes or in the mind optically and have the persistence and intensity to pursue it. So think about a salesperson having an idea, because all selling is presenting an idea to another person. That's all it is, man. I got an idea. I'm going to present that idea to you. Actually, if you're writing down steps, I'm going to initiate. Okay. I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to send a text message. I'm going to send a video. And I'm going to say to JB, got an idea. I'm going to come to Long Island. I want to do this event with you. Right? I got an idea. I'm going to initiate an idea. Hey, I got an idea for a strategic partnership. Hey, I got an idea on how to solve a problem for you. Hey, I got an idea, right? I initiate. Prey drive is initiating. Like the animal sees it, pursues it, right? I see it and I pursue it. That's prey drive. I initiate, I disarm. I locate a problem, because money changes hands when problems are solved or opportunities are presented. And I always push you to something in the future. There's always something in the future for me to invite you to. Hey, I'm coming back to Long Island on October 9th. Hey, I'm going to be breaking down this concept and how it can help you kill the competition, right? And capture more market share. Hey, I got an idea. Hey, let's do a webinar, JB, on this concept. Okay. So prey drive is an instinct to see something and pursue it. There are 3 phases of prey drive. Number 1, prey drive has to be activated. Brian Truman. Number 2, the prey drive must have a persistence to it. Amanda. Number 3, there must be an intensity to a prey drive. Okay. And intensity is pursuit. I've got a target. I was sitting with mortgage people today and I'm like, all right, what's your target, man? And many of them were very vague about their target. Do you want to do 8 deals a month? Do you want to do 12 deals a month? Do you want to do, right, X number of deals per month? My target is 25,000 a day, every day. 25,000 in sales per day, every single day, 5 days a week. That's my target in my coaching business. Okay. So think of prey drive like this, JB. There's 3 phases of it. It's got to be activated. It's got to be a persistence to it. There's got to be an intensity to it. If you're out there watching, I'd love for you to type in where you personally fall off the wagon. Do you fall off the wagon in activation of prey drive? Do you fall off the wagon in persistence of prey drive? Do you fall off the wagon in intensity of prey drive? Okay. I'd love to see the comments. Okay. JB, for you, what do you see as a coach? 3 areas of prey drive, 3 phases of prey drive. Daniel said persistence. Mark Schaefer said intensity. JB, what do you see?
I mean, I see persistence, being able to do it every day. That's the hardest part. A lot of people, what they want to do is, they want to get motivated. But the problem is that you can't really build a business purely on motivation. That persistence, being able to deliver and execute, regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of how you feel, that's where we see the most area for the most room for improvement is in the persistence, for sure.
Yeah. So Brian Marquez said persistency. Derek said persistence. Deanna said persistence. I think many of these people are coming back October 9th, if I remember correctly.
That's
the
right,
name
yeah.
sounded familiar. Vandania, that's persistence. So when you're hearing this, the reason I like to say this to people is that listen to this cycle I'm going to show you, because I've been coaching people for 30 years. And I study a lot of human nature. And human nature tells me that there's a vicious cycle we have to overcome in our life. But first, we got to recognize this cycle. And it is to start with good intention. It is to fall off the wagon or get distracted. And then it is to experience guilt. Okay. When I was in Riviera Maya, Mexico, JB, doing the very first 10X in Riviera Maya with Cardone, there were 75 people there. Brad Lee was there. It's where I met Brad Lee. Melissa Lee. It's where I met Matt Monero and his wife, Cardone and his wife. Cardone was talking about for years he went to therapy. His therapist always told him that he was grieving the loss of his brother, grieving the loss of his father. And he said, what I was really grieving, I was grieving those things, but what I was really grieving was my lost potential. What I should have been doing in my life from 20 to 30, what I should have been doing. I was grieving losing my potential. Okay. I spoke to 20 of the top State Farm agents this morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Many of them have been there for years. They are making a good living, maybe $250,000 to $500,000 a year, maybe $1 million a year, who knows? And they're ready to retire and exit. They're ready to check out. They're ready to shut it down. And the last thing I said to them, JB, is there's three reasons at the end of a person's life while they pass away outside of natural cause. They run out of money, they run out of love, and they run out of purpose.
True. Very true.
And I could just see people in their room going, damn, this dude's right, man. I don't need to run out of purpose. I've been working so I could retire, man. I need to get after it because I still got potential. I'm 60, but I still got potential. I'm 70, but I still got potential. I'm 50, but I still got potential. I'm 45, guys, and I'm nowhere even close to my potential. Nowhere even close to my potential. So to kill the competition, okay, to kill the competition, John Hart, we got to first get real serious about our prey drive. 3 phases of prey drive. Now, there are 5 activators of prey drive. Okay. When you're thinking about activating a prey drive and you're building a culture and you're building a sales team, you want to include all 5 of these things. Number 1, fear of loss is an activator of prey drive. I always say what takes years to build up can take seconds to tear down. Here's some models I live by, JB. Number 1, I go to bed tired and I wake up hungry. It all goes to 0 at midnight. No matter how much money in my bank account, I'm dead broke when I wake up every single morning because it all goes to 0 at midnight. Okay. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. And the last one, it's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win, man. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Fear of anything will activate your prey drive. See, this is what happens. You study motivation, folks. Part of my strategy with my competitors is to hit so hard and with so much force and so much intensity and in so many different tactics and strategies that they're like, dang, how do I keep up with that dude? Like I see that dude in 4 different states. I see him hitting his database. I see him on Instagram. I see him hitting his LinkedIn. I see him doing strategic partnership. I see him, right, flying all over the country. I see him, man. How do I keep up with this dude, man? Well, to do that, you got to have your prey drive activated. Fear of losing something will activate your prey drive. Status, money, power, way of life. When I saw this unit up here on the 40th floor, it got panoramic views of Nashville in my condo up here. I stalked it, JB, for about a year, but none of them were available. I kept telling myself, I kept telling my wife, we're going to be moving up to the 40th floor. I see it in my mind. As soon as it came available, I reached out to the agent. I want to look at that unit. I want to look at that unit. Boom. I see it with, I kept telling my brain, we're going to move up to the 40th floor. We're going to have panoramic views. We're going to move up to the top. That's prey drive. Prey drive is an instinct to see something and pursue it. Fear of losing it calls me to take an action. Number 2, activator prey drive, competition. You need healthy competition. You need a game to play. You need a trophy to win. You need something to pursue. Okay. We run out of love. We run out of money. We run out of purpose. You need competition, man. And for a lot of you out there, you're not competing enough with people. You should see it as a competition. Okay. Here's the way I see it. I went to JB's event in Long Island, October 9th. Me, Brad Lee, Cardone, Tim Grover. You know how I see that, JB? Competition, man. And I go in there and I say, man, I'm going to be competing today versus the best dudes in the world. And I'm going to see if I can hold my own against these dudes because these 800 people don't know me. See, to me, it's competition, right? I got a chance to win somebody over. I got 800 people I'm trying to win over. Like it activates your prey drive. It's like, this is going to be awesome, man. It's going to be awesome. So JB, when you think about you, how does fear of losing something activate your prey drive?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that when you get that fear of a loss, especially the loss could be, for example, something you spent your whole life building, which isn't money, it's your reputation, it's your word, it's who you are. That definitely activates prey drive where every single option besides winning is off the table. You know, like, for example, when we put together this event, we never did it before. It's something that we never did. So it literally eliminated every single option of failing, and it made us only think in one way. And our whole team felt that way. So I could tell you firsthand experience, the fear of losing, especially when it's something that it's not easy to get back, like your name, your reputation, your word, that'll activate it. And I think the biggest issue is most people are trying to condition themselves to not activate prey drive. They don't want to be in a position where they could hurt their name or hurt anything else or lose anything. So they don't play any game and they end up losing on top of it. So that's one of the biggest, sorrows, I guess, of what you see when someone doesn't actually, they don't embrace it, because that pressure is what creates winners. And turning off that pressure doesn't preserve anything. It actually rots your potential.
So when you think about it, I actually, if you look up fear in the dictionary, it says a negative emotion created by a belief that something or someone is going to harm me in the future. Okay. I don't accept the premise that fear is a negative emotion. I actually believe fear is a positive emotion that is absolutely necessary to activate one's prey drive. When you fear of losing everything, you'll pick up the phone. When you fear of embarrassment, you'll take an action. When you fear going back to the way you used to live. Michael Irvin spoke before me at a conference in Dallas, Texas once, or after me. And they used to refer to him as Fearless Michael Irvin. Wasn't afraid of anything. He said, what they didn't know is that I was scared to death of getting hit by Ronnie Lott from the San Francisco 49ers. He said, I knew if they called slant route Irvin that I was going to run up the sideline, across the middle of the field. He's going to turn back and catch the football. And as soon as I turned back, not seeing Ronnie Lott was going to, boom, hit me from this side. He said, man, it scared me to death, John Wheeler. Scared me to death. He said, but it didn't scare me as much as going back to where I grew up. I was more afraid of going back to the hood of where I grew up than I was getting hit by Ronnie Lott, because I knew how much money they were paying me to catch that football. See, when you're afraid of something, replace that fear with a bigger fear. Okay? Fear is an activator of prey drive. Competition is an activator of prey drive. All right, now let's talk about environment. JB, I'm coming back to Long Island. And I believe I want to combo two of these things, environment and exposure. These are 3 and 4. Exposure, you were exposed to a guy like Cardone at some point, right? At a low moment of your life.
Yep.
How much money did you have left? $100?
Yeah. I mean, last we were actually doing everything on our credit card.
Okay. So you're broke. Were you scared?
For sure.
Had a lot of fear. You got exposed to a guy like Cardone. And what did that do for your prey drive?
Well, it sure as heck activated it, because it made me more afraid of not doing than doing. The reason what led me to being broke is the fear of doing. And it actually totally reversed what's happening. So at that point, it became more of, understanding that average in itself is something that you don't want to strive to be. It's something that's very dangerous. So that is definitely something that activated prey drive. And to this day, I do. And I always think now, and this is a model that I talk about with all my people, is you can't afford to not afford it.
Yeah.
And that's really the reality. If you want something, and if you know that you need it, especially, there is no reason not to attain it, not to get it, not to acquire it, and figure out what you need to do to get it done.
This is important, folks. My buddy Tim Story said, sometimes you got to live out of your sacrifice before you live out of your surplus. When I was 25 years old, I wanted to learn the 7 habits of highly effective people. I wanted to be trained in those 7 habits. I wanted to be licensed in those 7 habits because I believed those 7 habits would change my life. And they did. But I didn't have the $2,500 to get certified in the 7 habits because I was a high school basketball coach making $25,000 a year. And I borrowed the money from my mother, paid her back in increments, went to that 1-week training, learned those 7 habits. And learning those 7 habits, getting in the room, living out of my sacrifice before I lived out of my surplus, has helped me generate millions and millions of dollars. It helped me learn how to package a concept. It helped me learn how to distill. It helped me learn how to coach people. It helped me learn habits of effective people. Now you tell me, if I wouldn't have got in that environment, if I wouldn't have been exposed to that training, if I wouldn't have understood that, right? Then maybe I don't go on to be a coach. Maybe I don't go on to do what I do. So exposure is I see something. I place myself in an environment that activates and reactivates my prey drive by getting exposed to somebody operating at a higher frequency than me. Environment is there's expectation. I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. There's expectations of greatness here. I'm doing a lot of work with Dr. Kevin Elko. Kevin Elko is Nick Saban's team psychologist at Alabama. This Friday, he's working with the Chicago Bulls because Billy Donovan brought him in to work with the Bulls. And I said, what's the first thing you do, man? First thing I do is I go and I raise the standards. Then I create a language. Then I create accountability, right? There's a formula to greatness. First thing, though, is I raise the standard. Okay? I raise the standard. There's environment. There's expectation. You come and spend a day with me and JB on October 9th. There's environment. There's exposure. There's expectation. Okay? Fifth activator of prey drive is embarrassment. JB, when you were broke, were you embarrassed?
For sure. Yeah.
To whom were you embarrassed?
The people that looked up to me, myself, most importantly, to my wife. Yeah. All those people, especially the ones that think, that thought highly of me, or the people that I should be examples to. It wasn't a good feeling.
Now, could that embarrassment be a good thing for you?
Definitely.
See, if you ask me today, Coach, where are you in relationship to where you're capable? I'd say, man, sometimes I'm just embarrassed by what I'm capable of and versus what I'm doing. Sometimes I look at other people. I got a buddy, 42, 43 years old, sold his first company for 66 million, somewhere around there, 50 million. Sold the same company again for 511 million. Sold a third company for 989 million. And he's 2 or 3 years younger than me. And I'm sitting there going, man, this is ridiculous. Look at this dude over here. I'm embarrassed that I haven't figured the game out to start a company and exit a company and sell it for $900 million when that dude's figured it out. Embarrassment is an activator of prey drive. Now, why are we telling you this? Because if you want to kill the competition, the first thing I would tell you is you got to quit beating yourself. Other people don't beat you. You don't do things you know you should be doing. You're not prospecting 2 hours a day like you know you should. You're not following up 7 to 15 touches like you know you should. You're not hitting your database like you know you should. You're not doing social like you know you should. You're not hiring the people you know you should because you're afraid to hire people. Like at the end of the day, the competition ain't killing you, man. You're killing your own self by not doing what you're capable of doing. Okay. So when you think about this, how do we do what we should be doing? Here's what I say. If you drew a line from A to B, A is where you currently are. B is where you're trying to get to. A is everything you're frustrated with. I'm frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with this. I'm living in fear. I'm not making enough money. I'm not doing this. This is A. A is my current position. B is my desired outcome. Tangible. There is something prohibiting you from going from A to B. And I'm going to give you one of 4 things. It's knowledge. You don't know how to get from A to B. If you did, you'd already be there. B, skill. I don't think money buys you freedom. I think skills buys you freedom. C, or 3, prey drive. You don't have the drive it takes to get from A to B. Or D, you don't have the confidence it takes to get from A to B. Okay? Is it you're at A and you're trying to get to B? I did this today with the company. I drew up on the board. What's keeping you from doing it? You know, most people, JB, said desire. They didn't have the desire to move from A to B. They lacked the prey drive to move from A to B. And very seldom did they say knowledge. They said desire and confidence. Desire and confidence. See, let me go back and say this again. And Mark Schaefer will post it because we're running this on Facebook. We're going to package this up. We'll put it on YouTube. I break things down, JB, when I'm coaching a person, and I force them to get clear in B. So if I was doing this exercise with you, JB, what's your B? What is your desired outcome you're trying to get your company to?
My B is I want our company to be the #1 real estate training company in the country and the largest marketing firm on the East Coast to help entrepreneurs and people that are startups.
Okay. Is there a revenue number attached to that? What would be considered success?
Well, on the real estate side of things, I mean, the company would have to generate probably at least $100,000 a day to be in that #1 segment.
Okay. So there you go. $100,000 a day is a B. Now, every action JB takes is either a high value activity that is moving him toward his B, or a low value activity that is moving him away from his B. See, this is what happens. A lot of people have confusion. Confusion is randomness in motion. So JB tells me I'm trying to do $100,000 a day, but he's doing X, Y, and Z. It's got nothing to do with that, man. The reason I force people to give me their B is because I want to help them understand what is high value versus a low value. Now, let me ask you a question, JB. If you were saying what's prohibiting you from going from A to B, knowledge, skill, desire, or confidence, what would you say it is?
Well, I would say at this point, it's knowledge, because we need force multipliers. So the thing is, every time we scale our business, and we've done really well. I mean, we've scaled, 170% since last year alone. As we expand, our problems become very different than the ones we had.
Right.
So just as we figure everything out, we're ready to graduate to the next step. We have a whole new problems that we haven't experienced before as a company. I haven't experienced before, and which creates a growing pain. So if I had that knowledge, I'd be able to accelerate faster.
So see how simple it is? Typically it's knowledge, skill, desire, or confidence. It's one of the four things. I don't know what I need to do, right? I don't have the skill to do what I need to do. I don't have the desire to do what I need to do. I don't have the confidence. A to B, it's a great exercise. Everybody that comes October 9th, Long Island, we're going to work through that exercise, work through that clarity. Okay. Now let's talk about strategy on how to kill competition. When I was a basketball coach, JB, I made up my mind that I was just going to shove it down other people's throats every single possession. And the goal was to get the ball to the midline in less than 2.3 seconds. So every time they score, we actually practiced how fast we took it out, pitched ahead, got the ball to the midline, and we just boom. And Nolan Richardson was a coach at Arkansas at the time, and he had what he called 40 minutes of hell. He was going to press you. He was going to run the ball. He was going to make life miserable on his competitors. And I grew up studying Patino, right? And Nolan Richardson, Phil Jackson, John Calipari, all these great coaches. And they would all tell you, man, the best defense was offense. So I made up my mind as a young basketball coach, man, we're going to play offense. We're going to push the ball like crazy. Then I retired from athletic coaching at 31 years old, and I started coaching business people. And guess what I found, JB?
What'd you find?
A lot of defense. Nobody had an offensive strategy. It's like, what are we doing here? Nobody had intensity. Nobody had a selling system. Nobody was prospecting for 2 hours a day. Nobody was making outbound effort. Nobody was banging on people. Nobody was messaging people. And I'm like, what's the purpose of this? The purpose is to win. And winning in the business world is new customer acquisition, new market share, new people. You don't need more money. You need more people. The people have the money. So I started developing an offensive system that we would go on to call the Monster Growth System. And it is a system of coordinated activities that I do every day to generate new money toward the dominant focus. So if JB hired me, I'd say, all right, we got a dominant focus of 100 grand a day. That's our dominant focus. The system to get to 100 grand a day is going to consist of X number of activities that are working in collusion with each other to hit that number. Every day we come in, we're going to have a hit list, and the hit list represents new money of people we're calling on. We can get that new money from current clients by cross-selling them. We can get that money or getting referrals out of those clients. We can get it from past clients by offering new products or re-engaging people. We can get it from strategic partners like JB and I are doing right here, or we can get it from direct leads. But every day we're going to initiate. Okay. We're going to initiate outbound effort, take an action. We're going to initiate. We're not going to sit in a defensive posture. How many businesses do you see on the East Coast, JB, that sit in a defensive posture?
Most people are in defense. And the worst part about it is defense usually takes place once they hit their first level of success. You know, when you got someone going from total broke, they usually push. And then once they make a certain amount of money that they didn't think they'd make, pure defense, protect what you have, take no risk, settle back. There's that holdback that we're seeing a lot in every industry that we're working with.
So it's a defensive posture, man. Life
Totally.
is meant to play offense. So every day I come into the day, man, I got a hit list of people I'm calling on. There's 2 subcategories of that hit list. I got bluegills, small fish, and I got blue marlins. In your business, you need cheap products. I got products that are free. I got products that are $9.95. I got products that are $83 a month, my coaching program. I got products that are $99 a month, my online academy. I got products all the way up to $500,000. I got products where I get overrides. So when you look at this, I got products that are free all the way up to $1 million. When I'm making outbound effort all day long and I'm hitting on people, right, Deanna, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a problem. If you don't remember anything from tonight, remember this: money changes hands when problems are solved or opportunities are created. And when I'm calling people this morning, I spoke to those State Farm agents. I'm capturing data. I'm initiating a phone call. I'm presenting an idea. I'm following up until I see it through to its conclusion. That's a hit list, man. Every day I come into the day, I got a hit list of people I'm calling on for new money. Anybody who will help me produce new money or new people is a hit list. Okay. Number 2, I got a farm club. I got people who have indicated interest in my product or service that we haven't closed. We should be going 7 to 15 touches, man. We should be going 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time. Okay. Most people go 1 or 2 touches. Insurance agents go 1 or 2 touches. Mortgage originators 1 or 2 touches. We need to be going 7 to 15 touches, because why? An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. So when you're hitting people, JB, what is the power of hitting people from a marketing perspective and nurturing and bringing value to those people that have indicated interest in your product or service?
It's tremendous. And the thing is, it's not even just about the ones that expressed interest. A lot of people, if they don't know you exist, that's the number one reason why they're not doing business with you in the first place. And instinctually, the natural thing that will happen is when you're in non-existence with someone, they don't know you exist. Naturally, the next thing that will happen is they won't be interested when they first hear about you. And to prove that my point, and I've said this before to people who were at the conference, if you've ever gone to a store and you already knew you were going to buy something at that store, and you knew you're going to need someone who works there as help, when you walk in, they say, "Hey, welcome to our store. Can I help you?" And you say, "No, I'm good." And then you walk past, and then someone else reaches out to you and says, "Hey, do you need help?" And then you tell them, "Yes, I do. I'm actually looking for XYZ. Could you help me with that?" Naturally, even though people know they're going to need something, their instinct is to reject it. So targeting those people, that initial piece of getting them at least not interested, gets them to a point of a high level of interest over time, especially when you're tagging them regularly. In fact, to talk about it from a real estate perspective, National Association of Realtors did a survey, and they asked people to recommend an agent. And 70% of the people that recommended an agent recommended one they'd never done business with ever, or met or spoke to. And it's because it captured that mind share from seeing those signs all the time, from seeing those ads all the time. So it definitely does create credibility and social proof over time. And if you're targeting people that are interested, especially to begin with, that creates a level of loyalty and referral process. And you have to be able to see that through too. That's not something that you're going to be able to see your first day doing it. A lot of people like instant results, but they really underestimate what would happen on a real campaign and really following up, really hitting that, whether that be with ads or whether that be actually with cold calling or mailers or using your sphere of influence or networking. It requires real time, just like building anything massive.
Yeah. And when you think about, the question here is how to generate leads as a new real estate agent to hit 7 to 15 new touches. Here's the deal. Go back to simple sayings. Contacts equals contracts. Number of handshakes, money you going to make. You got to understand you don't need more money. You need more people. You're not calling to sell everybody a home. You're calling to connect with people.
Coach, real quick question, if you don't mind me just chiming in for a minute. Can everyone put in what they do for a living, what industry you're in, just so we can kind of gauge, like, what do you guys do? What does everyone do here? Put in the chat. Okay,
Good.
Insurance, IT, realtor.
Good.
Oh, here come the real estate people.
There they are. Look at all them real estate folks.
Consulting, marketing, wholesaling, that's all real estate. Okay. Academic coach, very cool.
Nice. All right.
Awesome.
What I'm teaching you guys here on this playing offense versus defense and killing the competition is applicable to every single industry I've ever coached in. Every single one of you need to have a hit list every day of people you're calling on. Every single one of you. You need to have a farm club of people who have indicated interest. You need to have a red zone of people who are close to making a buying decision that you can hit on, right? You need to have a top 25 of your biggest clients and strategic partners and feeder systems that you're loving on and spending time with, right? This is a system of offense. Okay. Hit list, new money. Farm club, interested but haven't closed. Red zone, close to making a buying decision. Top 25, influencers, strategic partners, feeder systems. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things we do to generate leads and capture market share is strategic partnerships. And the reason this is important is because I want to go back to a central theme. I talked about this in Dallas, Texas last week. You don't need more money, you need more people. How do you get in front of more people? Well, you have something of value that other people are interested in. I like to position by concept. So what I do is I come up with really cool concepts: flip the switch, person of interest, $1 million follow-up, fanatical follow-up, acres of diamonds, whatever. And I say, this is a concept that will solve a problem for your audience, JB. And if you and I partner, I'll come to Long Island, get in front of your audience, help them flip the switch. You bring the audience, I'll bring the concept and the experience, and we'll bring these two things together. And the next thing you know, I'm exposed to 600 more people. And this is how you become a person of interest. This is how you become known. This is how you pick up new market share, is you need strategies to pull people to you. And I call that positioning by concept. Create concepts that attract people, that solves a problem for them. Come in and deliver, but you got to be good. If you're not good, it don't matter how good the concept is. And we call this the showcase. There are 3 types of showcases you need to be doing. Number 1, education. JB did his education event in Long Island. And it educated people. It attracted people. Number 2, entertainment. Entertainment's where you bring people together to let them have fun. Number 3, edutainment, where you teach them something and you let them have fun. Okay. Now, when you start combining these things, I got a hit list, I got a farm club, I got a top 25, I got a red zone, I'm planning events, I'm hitting my database, I'm doing webinars, I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing social media, I'm doing strategic partnerships, I'm writing books, I'm speaking in front of people. Look at all of these strategies that help you pick up new market share. This is what playing offense looks like. If I was a mortgage originator, I'd be writing my own books, having my own podcasts, having my own conferences, speaking on stages, doing strategic partnership. And then I would have a machine behind me that worked the leads. Let's talk about that machine, JB, from a marketing perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were coming in and teaching people from your marketing how to generate more leads, because you guys basically decided you're going to have a conference, and from the time you decided to the time you actually had it, how many days was that?
From the idea to execution was 5 months.
Okay. And you got how many people there?
We had just over 800 people there.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit about the strategy behind that, because you hit social hard. What was the machine behind the machine?
So, I mean, the biggest thing is, first is when to let everyone know how this works, if you're going to do something big, whether that big doesn't necessarily mean a conference. It could be your first time actually marketing yourself. When you come up with an idea, you don't have to have it all figured out. You have to figure out what you want the end result to be first. So I already knew that I wanted to create something. For this example, we could talk about real estate. We could talk about other concepts too. But for this particular real life action that just took place, This was something that we wanted to do, and we wanted to do it big, and we wanted to have a great result, and we want to have the best speakers in the world come, including Coach Burt. That's why he was there. He was one of the top in the world. We want to have basically a group there, and we want to create an environment where people can get a lot of gains from it. Now, how do we do that? How do we pay for that? How do we market that? What do we need to do? These were all issues that existed, and we didn't have a solution for any of them. Not one. I didn't have one solution for any of them. All I knew is that what I need to do is I need to figure out the number one way is I need to get out of obscurity with the environment around me. In my local market in Long Island, especially in the real estate community, I have a brand, but outside of that in the country, many people don't know who I am. So what we did was initially is we need to create a concept of, okay, how do we get attention? Because to build a brand with people over a long period of time takes time. You can't just come out of nowhere and in less than 5 months, fill a place. So what we did was in our marketing approach, we figured out creating what's called the commonality approach, where you probably, if you knew me, you'd like me, but I only have 7 seconds to get your attention. And how do I, in 7 seconds, when you go online and you look at something on Facebook or you look at something on Instagram, and you're not even there to find me, you're there to find something else, and I pop up now, how do I actually go ahead and get your attention? So initially, what we did was in the cultivation period, was we created parody-based advertising. So I'm sure everyone remembers in Jerry Maguire, the scene with Cuba Gooding Jr., where Cuba is yelling to him, "Show me the money." We actually had a parody that we made where Cuba's saying, "Show me the money," making me yell, "Show me the money." And our guys edited it to make it look like it's that piece of the movie to promote the entrepreneur conference. Essentially, we use humor in the very beginning to get that going. Why? Because if you don't know who I am, you know who Jerry Maguire is. So we're gonna borrow that credibility to get your actual connection to it. We created the America's Got Talent type of audition that actually was cut in with the people from America's Got Talent, the judges. And we used that initially too in our ads because, again, you don't know me, but you know America's Got Talent. You probably like that. And then we were able to go from there. Now, next step is now we got to get serious. Now we got to get some big speakers. We got to start raising some big money. We got to start putting some other things together. That piece becomes what's called your test phase. And your test phase is understanding your market. And this sounds very complex, what I'm about to tell you. And this was the easiest part of what we did. And actually on October 9th, when I'm with Coach Burt, I'm going to go over with you step by step in the marketing accelerator, but I want to give you a piece right now so you can really understand it. We did what's called split testing, but to simplify that, all that is testing things out. So what we did is I had a team survey my existing clientele. And they reached out to that existing clientele and they asked them some questions. For example, how do you want to improve your business? What are you sick and tired of? What do you want your business to be like? If you did accomplish that, what would your life look like? And what we found out, there was a huge consensus that people wanted to stop chasing customers and they wanted customers to start chasing them. They wanted to be known. They were tired of not being known. That was very important data to us because these are what's called buttons in advertising. A button in advertising is saying, okay, we push this button, that gets your attention because that's a real pain point. So then what we did was we created actual cuts and film with our team here, and we changed the same video or the same ad with 187 different variations. Now, it sounds crazy what that is, but in actuality, all we did was change some copy, change some graphics, we changed some, changed some arrows. One's going like this, one's going like that. One says get known, one says coming to New York, one says something that you'll never see again. And we spent probably $7 to $20 a day, that's it, in figuring this out. From that on, we started to really find that it was 3 specific ads that people really connected to. And again, I didn't make 187 different videos. We created just different text, different font, different thumbnails for the same videos. And it was 3 specific videos that stood out. We started to scale those videos, and our event was September 14th. August 13th is when we ran our first real go get money ad. We went from spending $7 to $25 a day to spending between $5,000 to $7,000 a day, which look, I'll be honest with you, we couldn't afford at the time with all the expenses of this event to lose $5,000 to $7,000 a day. 2 weeks would screw us over. So essentially what would happen is that we start to scale on a gradient because you can't spend too much in advertising. That's the one thing people realize. They think like, oh my God, that's an insane budget. I don't have $5,000 to $7,000 a day. Great news, neither did we. But what we did was we created a concept initially where we only spent $7 to $25. then 300, then 400. And then we found a 3 that hit, that these are the reliable ones that just churn in leads and bring them all into us. And what we did from there is out of the 30 days that we ran those marketing at high levels between $5,000 to $7,000 a day, 29 of them were profitable.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is overall, it was fully profitable. Now, what you're trying to do is if you're trying to get started and figure out what you want to do, I got good news for you. When you put together your initial ads, when you put together your initial marketing, don't try and figure everything out. Everyone makes the same mistake. They say, I got to make something that's so well produced, that's so funny or so engaging or grabs so much attention. And what you're doing is that you're really putting the cart before the horse. First, find your actual target audience and see what they want. What's their problem? Like, for example, if I'm a buyer and I'm a buyer, I'm looking to buy real estate. I'm just talking about real estate because there's a lot of people on here that are in that industry. Did you survey buyers? Did you reach out to your old buyers or current buyers and ask them, hey, look, what's the biggest challenge you're having in finding a home? What's the biggest solution you're looking for? If you found that solution, what would your life be like then? Maybe someone would say, hey, I'm looking for a way not to have to bid over asking to get a house that I want, which is a common issue that everyone else is having. Your ad might be saying is that you're thinking too much and that's why you're paying too much. Learn to buy a house the right way. And then boom, move them to a webinar. And then you can only put a couple bucks behind that. And then from there, you're going to start seeing, oh my goodness, this is working. People are actually engaging with this. Don't try and guess what people want. Don't create ideas that no one said that they wanted, because you might have a good idea, but trying to bring that in 7 seconds to people's attention is hard. Do some market research and then play with it. Make different variations of the same thing. Change the text, see what works. And what you want to do is you want to stay on top of it to be able to scale it out and go from there. So these are the pieces that are going to help you understand what you need to do to be able to grow and scale. I see a question here. It says, what was the conference budget? The budget was $1 million and we didn't have 700,000 of it on hand. So, yeah. So what we did was, I mean, essentially, and also we had to hire more staff. We had to do a lot more things, but we thought with what we wanted, not with what we have. So what we're looking at is that what you have to do is you have to really put into concept here of how you're going to be able to scale that. And the way you do that is also to get your goal, like what we were doing with the conference, to go back to that, to answer that question. We had targets of how much money we needed to make a day. And we needed to, just in conference sales, especially in our last drive, it had to equate to $25,000 to $31,000 a day. And to be able to accomplish that, we created pricing promotions, we created different packages, we created cross-selling, we created add-ons. Sometimes you don't discount your price, you add more to the value to make it a no-brainer. If you notice, I don't remember another conference where someone gave away a BMW.
Right.
You know, and then like, oh, well, that car's $60,000. Why are we going to spend 60 grand on a car? Well, we didn't. What we did was we went there, we negotiated a prepaid lease up front for tier 1 credit, 7,500 miles a year. And that actually is a lot cheaper than buying the car, and the person still gets the car just under their name. So you got to think a little bit resourceful in what you're doing. So I'm gonna actually break this down into actual steps of when you're getting started, how to actually get known, how to get people's attention, how to keep their attention, which is the most important thing, how to have them take action, and more importantly, how to deal with the internal things that you go through. Because when you make an ad, when you start reaching out to people, you're going to get a lot of people that are interested. And you're also going to get a lot of people criticize you. You're going to get some comments you wish you never heard. You're going to get some real bite back. And when you're really in the process of expansion, that thing might make you cringe. I know a lot of people don't actually market or advertise themselves because they're afraid of that piece. What if they don't like it? What if they criticize me? What if they attack me? What if they insult me? And there's an actual process on how to convert those people to buyers too, because those people are actually saying that I'm watching your stuff and I'm interested. Coach, you remember we had so much good feedback, and then there was that one person made a comment about it to Jet.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that part, but yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, what happened was we actually sold tickets because of that. We had one of our promos, and in our promos, Coach was coming out of his jet.
Yeah.
And someone made a comment about, you know, it's always some guy coming out of a jet or something like that. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So what happened is that someone's instinct might be, oh my goodness, let me delete this.
Yep.
We didn't delete it. And then all of a sudden a swarm of people came defending Coach and the event, and our ticket sales went up from that. And that guy was quiet. He never said anything ever again from then on. And no one said anything bad to him. They were just kind of like checking him. And what I'm saying is that criticism sometimes draws more engagement. That ad got more engagement because this guy decided he wants to have a poke at coach.
Right.
And when we actually increased sales and got more engagement from it. And so what I'm saying is that even the things that might make you afraid or make you kind of go over or anything like that, these are the pieces that will kind of create issues, or these are things that you might think create issues, but actually they create opportunity. So we're going to talk about all those pieces: how to work the good PR, how to establish it, how to actually get the money going, and then if you get bad PR, how to convert that into good PR and make money from it.
All right, we got time for one or two more questions. How did you target marketing sponsored ads for the event?
So we actually, so Grant Cardone was one of our keynote speakers. So we targeted his audience. We targeted a lot of our speakers' audiences. And then we created our own audience from that. We actually gained over 770,000 different audiences from our ads that are now people that get retargeted. So our cost per acquisition started around $342 per sale. But once they became our audience and we've retargeted them, our acquisition went down to $62 per sale. And now these are people who know who we are. So initially what we did is we shadowed people that we already knew had momentum. And let's be honest, right? If we book Coach Burt, we want to target his audience because they're going to want to see Coach Burt. We book Grant Cardone, we're going to target Grant Cardone's audience because they're going to want to go see Grant Cardone. So that's what we did. There's actual target markets, segments, and there's mistakes you don't want to make, which is a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll try and spend a lot of money in a market, but a market's only so big. So you become saturated. So as soon as we start to notice we're reaching that cap, we would lower the spend there and then find a new market where we can find a new audience, whether that's making the geographic scope bigger or changing the actual location totally.
Now, there's two things here I want you guys to understand, and we're going to be breaking this down. I'm going back to Long Island on October 9th. We're going to spend a full day, really very tactical, because you guys are asking some incredible questions. And JB comes at this from a real marketing angle, understanding the marketing. I come at this from a very sales-oriented, relationship selling angle of just pure grit. And, somebody asked a question, JB, about how do you penetrate a new market? I went to Houston, Texas, JB. I didn't know one person. There were 6 million people in Houston, and I didn't know one person. I met one dude. That one dude, after I won him over, see, I have a theory. The key to the many is to the one.
Yeah.
See, I won JB over in Las Vegas at Brad Lee's event. I said, man, if you want me to speak at your event, I'll come up and speak at your event. JB introduced me to 800 new people, but he really didn't introduce me to 800 new people. He's introduced me to hundreds of thousands of new people because of the marketing. So I went to Houston. I meet one dude. I win that dude over. That dude, I won him over by bringing value. I won him over by helping him advance his mission. I won him over by saying, I'll help you do what you, right? So I added value. I created value. I solved problems for people. That's how you win people over. That dude in Houston introduced me to all of his wealthy friends. And next thing you know, I'm generating hundreds of thousands of dollars of new business in Houston when I only knew one person in a town of 6 million. Okay. So when you think about these things, I'm a very tactical person. I was a high school basketball coach, turned entrepreneur and business owner, turned business builder. Then the next thing you know, man, I'm out there pushing and shoving and grinding. Then you add JB's secret sauce and sprinkle on his marketing. Next thing you know, boom, you're in front of 700,000 people. Okay. So I want you to hear what I'm about to say to you. You don't need more money. You need more people. The key to the many is to the one, because in today's social media, one person can introduce you, okay, to millions of new people. Okay. So once you get in front of those people, you got to collect the data, Joshua, and then you got to go back and you got to bring value to those people through retargeting, what we're doing tonight, free webinars. And we're going to show you all of those things on October 9th, man. We're going to break down all this stuff for you. I'm going to show you how I get on stages, how I generate business. We're taking 50 to 100 people up in Long Island. It's $997 for you to spend time with me for a day and JB for a day. And listen, Long Island was beautiful. If you live in Tennessee, you should go to Long Island. If you live in Chicago, you should come over to Long Island. Okay. You come up there and spend a day with us. And I promise you, you're going to learn the prey drive that it takes to building a national brand, to building strategic partnerships, to getting in front of hundreds of thousands of people, to making millions of dollars, man. I mean, that's what you're going to learn. So if you're looking to sign up, we've got a link here. If you got any questions, it is a one-day boot camp live. Me and JB will be there. We're probably expecting 50 to 100 people that are going to be up there with us. And man, I tell people, JB, I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs, man. You need to only come if you're serious about building a brand. Okay. And you're serious about activating your prey drive, and you're serious about gaining market share, and you're serious about killing the competition. Because that's the only reason. I'm cutting my family vacation short today to come to Long Island, right? My family's going to be in Florida. I'm going to leave one day early to come back and do this with JB on October 9th. So I'm telling you, man, if you want to be a stone cold killer machine, we're going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to learn from JB. He has a much stronger marketing background than I do. I have a strong coaching background, strong speaking background, because that's what I've been doing my whole life. But we can all get better at marketing. Okay. How he did the ads, how he put it together, how he got my attention. I saw every one of those ads. I said, man, that is cool. The gimmick ads that he did, the common ads, man, I'm like, that's cool, man. Because I've never done that before. The way he did it, I've never done. So guys, if you're interested, Mark on my team is here, mark@coachburt.com. He'd be happy to help you. If you got a question, please email mark@coachburt.com. We're posting the link. We're expecting a good intimate group of people, 50 to 100 people. We're going to spend a full day. We're going to give you money's worth. We're going 9 to 6 that day. Right, JB?
That's right.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a first-class dude here. I believe in him. He put me in front of 800 people. I delivered the goods in Long Island. And I said, man, I'll come back and get real tactical with you for a day. So send them off here, JB, on why they ought to come and join us that day.
Well, look, I'll tell you why. Look, the smartest person in the room is the room. And when you have people that have this type of drive, and we start activating prey drive in everyone in the room, you're going to see that you're not just going to have a higher level of knowledge and ability to execute it. You're going to have me and Coach on your team. And you're also going to have a group of people that you didn't have before. And your network is your net worth. And the best way to do that is to get in that type of room with those people. Because look, you already know you're going to get the value. Most of you are at Entrepreneur Conference. You know, there's a bunch of you that have already signed up. So congratulations on that. The biggest thing is that when you're there, what you want to do is you're going there because you don't want to just get a good experience. You want a much better trajectory of your life. And that's why you're going to be there. Look, paying the dues is not just the time and the money, it's the execution afterwards. And Coach has been good enough to actually include something else that you'll get for what was the promotion again, Coach? I was for 1 year. Your monster program.
I forgot about that. We give every person that signs up for the offer a year of my coaching program. I think there's already 30 or 40 people that are in my coaching cycle that are getting weekly coaching from me through my Monster Producer program. And man, I forgot all about that. Look at that, man. For $9.97, you get a year of coaching from me, and you get a full day with JB and I live.
And these relationships are important because I'll give you an example. Like in 2017, I was sitting in the audience at Tennis Growth Con. Coach Burt was on stage that day. I was in the audience. I was a spectator. Today, I'm with him. We're doing stuff together. We're on stage together. We're doing these mastermind groups together. Where you're at in your business doesn't matter, because tomorrow we could be sharing a stage together with you. We could be doing a deal with you, but we don't know. If you don't exist, we'll never know you. So show up there, and I will promise you this: you will be able to scale your business. There's no way you're going to spend a whole day with me and Coach, and you're not going to be able to get a lot more out of it. And you're not going to be able to definitely take your business to a whole other level, but more importantly, the relationships you put together. I went to Brad Lee's event in Vegas. That's how me and Coach actually sat down, got face-to-face. That ticket cost me $6,000. The relationships, Brad coming out, Coach coming out, the other people I met, my network, what I was able to do helped me so much. And we want to duplicate that for people all around the country. And this does not happen in Long Island. There was never events like this in Long Island. You always have to get on a plane, go somewhere else. He's coming on a plane, coming out to you. Just remember that. That doesn't happen normally. So it's definitely an incredible experience and something you want to take advantage of. We'd love to meet you. We want to help you. We want to be in your corner, but we need to see you so we can do that. So let's get in front of each other. Let's get that proximity to power so we can go and really power up and make this world a better place through what we're going to accomplish.
Listen, I tell people, and we'll close on this, and thank you, Nikki. I look forward to seeing you coming all the way from Florida, man. It means a lot.
That's awesome.
I'm coming from Florida. I'm gonna be coming from Florida too, because that's where my vacation home is. I tell people like Mark Schaefer, he knew I was going to say this, man. I can't help you till you commit. But once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. And if you will get in the room with JB and I that day on October 9th, and you'll get in my coaching program for a year, it's all included, man, we're going to get you to the next level. And it's such a powerful story to hear JB say he saw me, spoke at 10X, and now we're on stages together. He was on a stage with Cardone, Grant. He was on a stage with Brad Lee. He was on a stage with Tim Grover, right? And to go from sitting in the audience, man, to being on stages takes action. You don't know what's going to happen on the other side of that phone call. You don't know what's going to happen when you get in the room. You don't know what's going to happen when you take an action. And so I encourage you. I'm excited about spending time with you. We got a few weeks. Get your ticket. It's $9.97. Get a year's worth of coaching. Listen, if for some reason you can't come October 9th because you got something else going on, JB, I told all the people there that we'll substitute any of my boot camps at my lodge in Tennessee. If they can't come for some reason October 9th, we'll substitute something for them that they can get the boot camp with me plus the 1 year coaching, right? We'll make sure that they get their money's worth, man. So guys, I want to say thank you tonight from Nashville, Tennessee. JB, love you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're a good man, number one. You're a good husband. And number two, man, you're making moves. And that does my heart really good to see guys like you making moves, man. It's an honor to work with you. So see you guys October 9th. Mark at coachburt.com can get you signed up or answer any questions you got. Guys, God bless you, man. We look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate it. See you there, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.